welcome to the Book Bunch. My name is Sam. If you're new here, I'd like to say a very special welcome. And if you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back for another installment of the Book Bunch. I'm glad to have you as part of this community. If you can, please like and subscribe to this video. It is, of course, a free bit of entertainment for you, so I hope that you enjoy it. And as always, if there is anything that you would like me to review, please let me know in the comments below and I will get to that. I'm currently in the process of reading the Farseer trilogy because that has been requested, so that video will be out next week hopefully, as I am partway through book 2 and I'm really looking forward to telling you all my thoughts about it. But that is next week's videos, not this, so let's get cracking into this one. This week I read Cinders and Sparrows. This is a middle grade book. It has a absolutely beautiful cover. Like, look at this. This is beautiful. This is an illustrator's dream right here. This is a really weird format too because it's actually wider than a standard A5, so it's a bit weird to have on the shelf, but still love it. I think this is going to be one that once we've moved and I've got all my stuff sorted out, I will have facing outwards because I just think it's so beautiful. But this one is about a girl named Zita. She is a bit of an interesting character. She's actually an orphan that we find out in the beginning. She is a maid. She's quite young. I believe she's 12 at the beginning of the book. I can't quite remember. Maybe she's a bit older than that, but I believe it's 12. And she is, basically a full-time maid for this old lady. And then this letter shows up, delivered by a living scarecrow, and it's got her real name on it. So she has only been kind of going by this first name that the orphanage had given her. She didn't even get given a last name. But then this letter shows up and it has her actual true name on it, which is Zita Bridgeborn. And she basically goes, hang on, I know that name, that's my name, because she remembers being called that before she was dropped off at the orphanage. But she doesn't have very many memories of it, so it's a bit of an interesting place to start the book. And basically she shows up at this castle, and because that's where the letter tells her to go, and it's just kind of a wild adventure from there. So this being a middle grade isn't a very complicated read. It's definitely easier to read than some middle grades that I have read. It's still a very good read. I definitely recommend it. It wasn't quite a 5-star for me. It's more about a 4-star, only because, again, it's probably because I'm an adult, so this isn't the audience it was aimed at, but I kind of figured out some of the twists and turns before they actually were revealed. It didn't detract from the story. It's just, I was kind of like, I'm pretty sure this is where this is going, and then like it would happen and I'd be like, cool, okay. But it was really good, had a lot of different twists and turns. There is a lot of high stakes in this, like there's a lot of like, if this goes wrong you'll die kind of situation, and like the end of the world sort of stuff. So it basically follows Zita as she is given over kind of the title of this castle and it becomes hers, but because she's 12, she obviously isn't of age to be like the legal head of the house, if that makes sense. So she gets a legal guardian, which was apparently a friend of the family, and the legal guardian is trying to teach her magic. She's not very nice. It's a bit of a whole like wicked stepmother situation. I think that's kind of the idea of it, but she's actually not related to the character in any way. But it's really good. It was a really good story. It was a really interesting concept. I don't want to give too much away because it kind of happens all very quickly, but yeah, basically Zita has to learn magic, and she is the last of the Blackbirds, which is like her family's, I don't know if you call it a title, but it's like their magical rank, I guess, and she's like basically the last of this all-powerful family that was trying to protect the world from the underworld from coming up to the surface, because in this universe the witches and wizards are basically given the task of keeping the dead and the souls of the dead and the demons and all of that at bay, and keeping them in the underworld, and helping lost souls, or ghosts and things, find their way through the underworld, and all of that kind of stuff, so that they don't bother humanity. And yeah, except humans don't really know that. They're just like, oh, you're witches, we've got like all of that kind of thing. But yeah, it was really good. I think this is technically meant to be a reimagining of obviously Cinderella, which is why it's called Cinders and Sparrows, because like she's a maid at the beginning, she's not really any of importance, and then she becomes this like basically princess or queen, and there's this like evil character that's kind of like an evil stepmother figure, and like the housemaids at the castle help her out, which is a bit like the mice. So there's like little things that you can kind of be like, okay, this is someone kind of taking elements from the Cinderella story and turning it into this. I think this is really good. Even if you don't like Cinderella, I think this is good. If you love Cinderella, I think you should definitely give it a go. But yeah, it was a really good read. I definitely recommend it, especially if you are a younger viewer or you have kids that are younger viewers. It's definitely a good read. I had a really good fun time reading this. I'm glad that I picked it up, even though it is intended for a younger audience. So don't let that kind of put you aside. If you're just wanting a quick, fun, magical read, this is definitely a really good place to start. So yeah, that's Cinders and Sparrows, and I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful week. We have just fought off COVID here. It's still lingering around a little bit, so hopefully everything will get back to normal in my household this coming week. But yeah, I wish you guys all the best, and yeah, I hope you have an awesome week, and thank you for watching. Bye!